Yeah, so welcome everyone. Sorry for the delay here. The meeting today is intended to go over key dates and current plans for the national team program leading into the 2026 games. What that means is that we have a plan in place, but if you're an athlete and you perhaps have other plans that you would like to follow through on that don't necessarily jive with what we've set out, this is the idea that we have an opportunity for you to come to us and share those plans, and we will work with you to facilitate those as best as possible. So some meeting standards here. If you do have some questions, you can just put your hand up and we'll do our best to address them, or you can type into the group chat and we will answer them as they come up there. So moving along here. So everyone knows we're going to be either in Prince George or in Sovereign for our trial events. Looks like things are there was some snow yesterday in Prince George, so things are progressing in the snow department. We also have snow at Sovereign, so both places look like they're off to a good early season start, I guess. So we have our last race is ending on the morning of the 16th. In the afternoon of the 16th, then I will meet with the High Performance Committee, where we will go through the criteria and nominate our team for the 2026 Olympic Winter Games. And then those athletes' names will be sent to the Canadian Olympic Committee. And subsequently after that, the nominated athletes will be notified by myself while still in Prince George. The following morning, we will have an onboarding process. This is led mainly by the Canadian Olympic Committee. There is a goal to have a member from the Canadian Olympic Committee in Prince George to help facilitate this process. But essentially, this will be done out at the ski club. It's a closed session only to nominated athletes and alternates and a few key staff. But that's where athletes will receive their Lululemon announcement kit, also their field of play uniform from Nordic Canada, and where we'll do some headshots, Air Canada boarding pass photos, team photos, etc. There'll also be some added information, another probably presentation as to things to expect as we head into the games. So that's the December 16th and 17th. So we're asking athletes who have aspirations to make the team that they book their travel home in the afternoon. We anticipate the morning session to be around 9 to 11, so 2 hours. So it's fairly safe to say that you'll be able to fly home from 2 o'clock onwards, or for those that are driving, driving as soon as we're done out at the ski club. So. And then the December 19th is when the Olympic Winter Games team announcement will go live through the various social medias and news outlets. Does anybody have any questions there so far? Okay. Next up is the key dates for period 2 and the Tour de Ski. So right now the plan is that on December 22nd, the team will travel to Munich from various locations across Canada. A change this year from last year is that last year athletes were booking their own travel. This year, because we have the assistance from the Canadian Olympic Committee and largely a big financial commitment from them as well to help cover the cost of the travel. So between the COC and Nordic Canada, we'll be booking all your travel. So we'll be looking for that information from you on the morning of the 17th. But the idea is that everyone travels to Munich on December 22nd. You arrive in Munich on the 23rd, and you're going to travel to Toblach where the start of the Tour de Ski is, and by van and bus. And then December 24th to 27th, of course, training in Toblach, and that will be supported by Louis Bouchard from the Pierre Harvey Training Center, and then other staff will arrive on the 26th. And then the 28th, the Tour de Ski starts. So some tight timelines there, but that's what we have to contend with for this season. Now, I'm saying that the COC leaders and the team are set to go to the Tour de Ski. Now, if you're an athlete who qualifies for the Olympic team, but you don't want to do the Tour de Ski, you know, it's never been on your radar, you don't think it's going to be a good fit for you, then let's have that discussion. Come with a plan as to what it is that you would like to do, and that may tie into our next slide here, with preparation heading into Milano. So after the Tour de Ski, the team will travel from Val di Fiemme to Pontresina, where we will be doing a shorter altitude preparation. So from January 6th to the 14th, there will be a preparation camp in Pontresina. And on the 15th, then athletes headed to Oberhof, Germany for the World Cups there. And then 16, 17, 18 in Oberhof. The 19th, traveling from Oberhof to Goms, which is the site of the next World Cup. That's in Switzerland. And then three days of racing in Goms. And then finally, on the January 26th, traveling from Goms to Seefeld, Austria, which will be the location for our staging camp. The staging camp is mandatory. All athletes heading into the Olympics will need to be at that January 26th staging camp, and we head into the Games environment on February 2nd. Now, for those of you, you know, again, like I said, trying to qualify for the Games and that you're successful, all of this is you know, this is the majority of what we believe is going to be the plan. But for example, let's say you're not a responder to altitude, so you don't feel like the altitude piece is going to work for you, then I would ask that you come with a plan that you feel like is going to work with you, and we'll work with you to try and make that as the best as possible. Again, also, if you don't feel like the World Cup races in Oberhof suit you, or they don't fit into your preparation, then we'll come up with a plan as to how that may fit. But the majority of the staff, etc., this is the calendar that we will follow. But we are willing and able to make some changes or make it fit the plan that works for yourself. So I would, if you're an athlete on this call and you haven't had this discussion with your coach, I would advise you to take up those conversations with your coach. And this, of course, this conversation is being recorded, so you'll be able to rewatch it after the fact, and then come up with a plan for yourself along with your coach. So, do we have any questions around this? No questions? Okay. A couple other important notes to make. I'm going to jump to the middle here of our presentation, or the slide here is all of you. If you're on the long list, you'll have received an email from Haley. Haley's are working for us at Nordic Canada, and she, I would just ask that you follow the instructions in that email, and that is either there's a way to do this virtually, and also one is if you're going to be in town here for Frozen Thunder in the next couple of weeks, or you're swinging through town to head out to Sovereign or to Prince George, you can come into the office and sign those forms in person. So that's if you don't have that form signed and you qualify for the Olympic team, you are not going to the Games, unfortunately. So We need these forms done ASAP. So please swing by the office and see Haley or one of the Nordic Canada staff, or follow the instructions on how to do it via the wonderful internet. The other thing is, for those of you, the Schengen visa is a thing. So athletes staying 90 days in the EU within 180 days, you must have a Schengen visa. So most athletes that we know of, they haven't been in Europe, so they're not going to fall within this 90-day window. However, those that perhaps have spent some time in Europe through the fall, training on a glacier or with family and friends and on a holiday or whatever, you do need to keep in mind the number of days that you've been away, and then kind of forecast the number of days that you're also going to be away coming up. So just so people are aware, this has been a problem in the past for certain athletes in different sports. We've been on top of this, but I know some alpine skiers who were denied entry into certain countries, and that would kind of put an end to their season. So please be aware of this, and it's best to do it while in Canada. The other thing that has changed this year is this is new. This is going to be new for everyone. Is this European Travel Information and Authorization System? It's supposed to come live in the middle of October. I keep following it, checking it every day. There's been no updates, but you apply for it online. You can read there. It takes about 10 minutes. It's about €7. So what is that now? $4,000 about? No, I'm kidding. It's about $15. You receive an email confirmation, and then you carry that around with you with your passport. So those are just a few things that I would encourage people to take care of. The other pieces that we forgot to list here is that you should have an active passport, and that it is active for 6 months past the time that you'd be coming home from Europe. So if you're staying in Europe through to March 15th is when the travel home after the last P4 World Cup will be, you need to have that passport valid until September 15th. So please take a check, look at your passport, make sure it's valid and up to date, and we don't want to have any issues at games or thereafter.
Can I just put a note in, if you do get a new passport for whatever reason between now and games, send a copy to me so I can forward it on to the COC.
Good point. Thanks, Haley. Do we have any other questions about this slide? Okay, moving on. That's all we have to present today. Should you have any questions, you can contact myself and Julia. Julia was not able to make it this evening. We do have a question here. Robin, you want to fire away,
just
Robin?
Quick question.
Yep.
Yeah, just a quick question about Schengen visas. Are you or Haley helping with those? Do we have a contact, or is that up to the athletes to go get as required? I believe it's probably only Catherine that is necessary there.
Yeah, from my understanding, Robin, it's only Catherine that I know of that is in need of one. But any athlete that's that I'm not aware of in the national ski team that may have been spending a lot of time in Europe, traveling back and forth, that they would be someone that I would recommend look into it. Yep. But we don't have any contacts at this time. And we can definitely do a bit of digging here to find the right emails and who to try and contact. But it seems to be ever changing. Is everyone still there?
Looks like Dave has a question in the chat about Seefeld.
Okay.
Just
Dave?
any more details on the times, the camp, I guess, itself.
The camp itself in Seyfeld is from so far right now, Dave, is 26th to the 2nd. And we will be putting together that plan in the next couple of weeks here as to how that rolls out. But we are looking for feedback from coaches as to facilitate the plan that works best for each athlete. So we'll have enough people on the ground to make that work for each individual. I can tell you that the team is staying at the Zoom Gourmet Hotel. We'll have most of the Olympic wax team there with the truck. So preparation of skis and going through people's ski fleets. I mean, for those that are especially newcomers to the World Cup field, those types of processes will be happening, and just kind of like a final preparation as we head into the games. Are you typing or writing, Dave?
Writing.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. If there's no other questions, then thank you everyone for joining us today. If you do have any thoughts after the fact, this recording will be available on our YouTube channel, as well as please reach out to myself or Julia with any other questions that you may have. Thanks, everyone. Look forward to seeing you on the snow.